Coffee. All right. Hello, my dance friends, and welcome to my channel. Today, I get to chat with the Carly Fischer, a friend and fellow Montanan. That's right, we both moved to Austin about the same time from Big Sky Country and met at Rose Movement Studio. Small world. Carly is a very talented dancer and instructor, specializing in American cabaret and in fusion belly dance. She brings that 60s, 70s aesthetic in her costuming, in the style of dance and music that she uses, as well as the props from veil work to sword work and tricks that she adds into her showcases. Manipulating coins with belly rolls and pops. If you're in the audience, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat. Carly also runs Soundsight Tarot, personalized tarot card readings. She has done classes on tarot readings. She does personal readings, group readings. She adds tarot to local events, parties, and she has so many students she's been mentoring that she now has a full team of tarot reading apprentices that she brings with her to larger events. She definitely brings a more practical use to tarot card readings and how to incorporate those into your daily life. So today we're going to chat a little bit about how Carly got into dance, specifically belly dance, also referred to as world fusion dance, transnational fusion dance, Minot dance, and other respectful terms, who her main influences have been in dance, how the Austin gig scene has treated her as a performer and artist, and she's also going to give us a scoop on her Soundsight Tarot business, how it got started, and what she's up to now, as well as how you can get involved if you want to learn about tarot or get some readings. So without further ado, here's Carly.
Hey Blair.
It's so good to see you. You look beautiful.
Thank you. It's the paleness from being inside all summer. I have no crazy sunburns or tan lines anywhere. My skin's exquisite.
Well, I'm really excited to visit with you because I've known you for a few years. I've seen your businesses just flourish and all the hard work you put into them. So I guess to start out, I was wondering how you got into dance in general, but more specifically belly dance.
I think belly dance was my dance from the get-go. Like, it was belly dance that opened the world into all of dance. And I'm now a dance major in college, and so now I'm moving into ballet and jazz spaces, and belly dance was like my foundation before any of that. So it's been really fun to experiment because belly dancers don't get off the floor very much. So all of a sudden I'm jumping around in a ballet class and I have no idea what to do with my body in the air. But the portal to belly dance for me was seeing dancers perform outside at a summer fair. Sunlight normally doesn't look great on dancers, but when you have that many sparkly things on your costumes, it's hard to not love it. And so I started taking classes with the teacher that led that summer fair experience. And that was when I was 16 years old. I started taking the classes with a friend, and the friend ended up leaving after one session, and I ended up staying because I had just found a lifelong love.
Very nice. Are there some specific dance inspirations that kind of brought you in?
My original teacher, she was in her late 60s when she started teaching me, and she brought dance to my small town in Montana back in the 80s. And so she represented this generation of dancer that was unlike what was existing at the time I started taking lessons. Sonia Alarcon is her name. But then also her contemporaries, AZIZ, is somebody that I work with today. And he is a big inspiration because he was with her back in the 70s and 80s dancing, and he is still presently teaching me dance and helping me improve my skills. Outside of the dance world though, Dita Von Teese is a huge inspiration for me. A big reason for that is because she can honor the past, but also keep aspects of contemporary dance and aesthetic very alive. And I really love getting to have a sense of storyline in a full set that I do, which is kind of one of those classic styles. With Dita Von Teese, for instance, she has a set where there's a specific song, or she's in like an opium den in this set, and then a martini glass in another set. And it's inspired by this 1950s playfulness and fantasy, and it tells a full story of this person. And so while I'm dancing, I like to do a dance of the seven veils that's like inspired by the Rita Hayworth performance, or a shot glass dance that's inspired by some dancers from the 50s. And so I like to bring in that sense of playfulness and tell a story through that dance that just helps people stay engaged and entertained.
Yeah, there's definitely a certain aesthetic. You kind of take people to a different time with your costuming, with how you interact with the audience. It's as much a showcase and a sleight of hand as it is just beautiful dancing and really understanding the music that you're working with and really representing the cultures that are inspiring the dance and the music that's happening. So it's really respectful to the dance, but it's also a really grand showcase. So it's really cool that you can put all that stuff together and just create a whole new scene for everyone that's there in the audience.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I always feel like a dancer needs to take herself or himself seriously, but can never get too serious. You know, you have to be a professional, but I think an element of playfulness and fantasy will always improve a show, because I think anytime you're moving around, like for me, it creates this sense of joy that sometimes I'll be dancing and I will want to start laughing, but I can't. And so what I have to do is I have to do something that helps everybody else laugh. And then once they're laughing, it's not weird that I'm laughing a little bit also. Because when you're working with swords and flames, and some of these props that we use, we can just get so scared. And as soon as you start laughing or find some elements of humor, then you end up being more present and more connected. And I think that really improves dance. But going along with your question about who inspires me, I would say that I have a mixture between the classic dancers like AZIZ, who believes in improvisation, structured improvisation, and his theory is that you just need to know your music, like the back of your hand, and then you can do a great set. And to have that great set, you also have to have a level of training that's consistent, where you're constantly working on your basics. And that's why I love dancers like Sadie, and Aliyah Muhammad is one of my favorite dancers that I've been in touch with, because they just believe that you don't need to have 1,000 different moves to be a great dancer, but you need to be practiced and you need to be working on building strong technique with the basics, and that will take you from here to eternity as a belly dancer.
You kind of got your start out in Montana. We never knew each other in Montana, but we both came here and finally got to meet in Austin, of all places. And I know from living in a couple different places in Montana, it is not a very great place for a belly dancer or a performer or an instructor really to make that much money. There's not really as much of a scene for it as I had hoped there would be, even in the college town. But I know that moving to Austin has opened up a lot of doors for many of us. Do you feel like you can expound upon your experience on the Austin gig scene for us?
Austin has been absolutely wonderful to work in, because most of the audience members are women, which is the same up in Montana as well. But you're surrounded by all of these people that want to dance with you. And many people are lovers of all genres of music. That's part of the culture in Austin. And so they're always curious about the music and they want to learn more about the details behind the dance. But the other joy of Austin is that with it being more diverse, you have musicians that can play wonderful Middle Eastern rhythms because they're from that Middle Eastern country, or at least they're well-traveled and they've learned. And so there's both an appreciation and a talent here that's very different from up in Montana. And that has led to a lot of acceptance and appreciation of the dance. But then the venues are out of this world in Austin because we have such a great selection of cocktail bars, which are my favorite places to dance. They're more intimate and they're more private. And so people come in for a really special, glamorous date night, and that's my ideal place to meet people and give them a performance. And so being able to connect with the longer room and offer exclusive performances in the underground speakeasy there has been my favorite part of being in Austin as a performer. But then the people that come to classes are also usually willing to try new things and push their comfort zones in a way that makes life so much easier as an instructor. I feel like it's also such a health-conscious city that you have more people who are jumping in because they want to learn yoga for the same reasons. Like, we just want to get healthier and get moving and build some type of a practice that can be consistent. And then that opens the door for them to really explore things to the next level, and Austin offers a lot of opportunities for that growth.
Definitely. I would love to hear a little more about your other business, Soundsight Tarot, which has just taken off, and now, as I understand it, you even have a team of readers that you've been mentoring who help you with readings and events. So can you tell us about that business and how it all got started?
So that started in Montana as well, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago when I got my first deck gifted to me, which is not something that has to happen for a tarot deck to be a great tool, but it just happened to happen in my experience. And I moved to Austin and started working in a tech company and started spending evenings helping fellow coworkers, people in the building who were stressed out, figure out what they needed to do next in their life or in their project or at work by using the tarot cards. And after enough nights of doing that with colleagues, I just decided to start my own business. And so that slowly grew in Austin over the last few years, and it's turned out to be a wonderful complement to the belly dance. With the apprentice team, it's been great because I have about a year's worth of course material. After years of teaching classes and creating new material, people can start as a beginner. And then once they've been with me for a few years, they're welcome to come out on my apprentice team. It's a nice small team of like 4 or 5 people right now, but that allows us to now go to the events of large tech companies that have hundreds of people and then provide readings that are really excellent, very pragmatic, non-mystical, yet very fun. And it's just been a really good way to build up a small group of people that help everybody think about their decisions in life.
You create very approachable scenarios for people to be able to grasp and understand, even if it's not something that they would normally seek out advice through tarot readings. It's something that everyone can get on board with how you present yourself.
Well, what's weird is that belly dance is actually more of a spiritual practice for me than tarot reading. So when it comes to tarot reading, I actively dissuade people from listening to astrology. I think astrology is bullshit. I think it's a fun thing to look at once in a while as like a joke or as a thought practice, but there's no reason to live your life by anything that ever comes up in an astrology chart. And same with any predictions in tarot. They're general, like everything is going to happen to you if you give it enough time or if you bring your attention to it. Self-fulfilling prophecies are very real. And so tarot is something that helps me actually use that rational mind and think things through and put emotions into words or put feelings into sentences that can be more communicative or more effective with communication. And so that's what I use tarot for. But then when I need a connection to spirit or something bigger than myself or outside of my little head, then that's when I dance. And when you can release yourself in the dance, when you can let the spirit flow through you, you can do things you never dreamed of doing before. But I always notice when I can't get rid of thoughts that are getting me down, when I'm stressed out or when I'm sad, putting on music and dancing is one of the best ways to get past that roadblock. And when I was young in Montana, I had more time on my hands, and so I could spend hours dancing. And there is this one time I'll never forget, after like 4 hours of dancing alone in my room, I heard voices. I heard a voice. It was a woman's voice.
Whoa.
So my actual original mentor in tarot, I met in a belly dance class with Sonia, my teacher, and they're both named Sonia. They both spell their name the same way. Wow. But Sonia, who became my tarot mentor, was also something of a psychic and had a spirit guide, and she told me that in a past life, I've been a temple priestess who used dance as a way to connect to spirit. It just made perfect sense. And my original dance teacher, that's my dance mentor, Sonia, she always felt the same way about herself. I would be unlikely to talk about past lives when we're talking about tarot, but when it comes to belly dance and my personal work or my personal life that integrates belly dance so much, that's when I say, I feel like I've been doing belly dance for a long time, and maybe even in past lives, and maybe, Blair, you and I knew each other in a past life, again, as dancers, because it's just this strange experience that I have when I dance, that it's something bigger than myself. So even if I wasn't getting paid to dance, even if I didn't have any students, it's still be dancing every day.
Well, that was beautiful. Now I just want to know what kind of projects you have going on. How can people catch your tarot readings or like online classes? Or are there any social distance events we should know about?
Online is going to be the best place to get me. I'm doing all of my tarot readings one-on-one online. People adore it because they can sit at home in their pajamas with their drink of choice and then enjoy a face-to-face tarot reading, and I send pictures and everything, and they can record the session on Zoom. I also have a new set of tarot classes that start on the afternoon of Halloween, and that's October 31st, which is a Saturday, for socially distanced events. For belly dance, I don't have anything right now, but I am doing some small parties with tarot. So if you have a group of 10 people or less, and if you're willing to wear a face mask while you receive a reading, I am doing home visits. Online, if anyone wants to take a belly dance class, I offer them on Thursday nights. It's always a unique topic each week. And so sometimes we'll learn part of a drum solo, and sometimes we'll just focus on learning an arabesque in like the classical ballet form, and then how can we put that into our belly dance. And then I also have a tarot circle every Tuesday night. And so if anybody wants to drop into that, they're welcome to. It's open to the public. Both of those Tuesday and Thursday classes are donation based, and it's my gift to the community right now. Every week with our tarot circle, I focus on one card or one concept, and we're currently working our way through the minor arcana.
Well, thank you so much for visiting today, Carly. It was so great to see you. I'm so glad that people are still able to learn from you, visit with you, dance with you, even if it's from their own living rooms in their pajamas.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this beautiful chance to speak. It was lovely to see you.
Bye, Carly. That's it, guys. I will have all of Carly's information for belly dance and Soundside Tarot listed below, as well as links to her events and upcoming classes. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so that I can continue to make more videos like this for you. Did you vote yet? I haven't voted yet. I'm gonna vote though. Let's make a pact right now to go vote. It's such a crucial time. If you have time, mail in a ballot. If you're able to make it there in person, please make plans to vote. I'm gonna just add a little voting info link. My Patreon shout out this week goes to Tess Bryan. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys.